This is a story of a friend of mine whom I consider very successful, working as a project manager in a US multinational company in his mid-40s, earning nearly close to about $500,000 annually, and he often expresses desire for financial freedom during our many catch-up sessions, but often with this wishful tone, as if it is unreachable. As a licensed financial advisor, I could easily offer advice, but again, I hesitate, not wanting to overstep and appear to have hidden agenda. Most people, I realize, do not believe that financial freedom is achievable, and we all live in these mental boxes that define what we think is possible for ourselves. Our lives reflect those beliefs, and the majority view financial independence as something outside their mental box, right? But do you know that the first step towards financial freedom is to crush these self-limiting beliefs or limitation and actually start believing it is actually attainable? And that leads me to the first step, that is to gain clarity. Now, define what financial freedom really means to you. For some, it's about covering their bills without stress. For others, it's having enough to work less and to pursue their hobbies. Some see it as being debt-free or able to be a stay-at-home parent. Your definition of financial freedom will evolve. In your 20s or 30s, you might see financial freedom as monetizing your skills, and later in your 40s or 50s, it's about having a portfolio of investment that cover your expenses, thus making work optional. Getting clear on your goal is crucial because it determines the step that you need to take, like paying bills and retiring at a reasonable age is achievable for most through investing, increasing income, and saving. However, if you want hundreds of millions of payday or Mercedes G Wagon or private jet, then you might need to start a business and sell your business, right? But remember that we all have this mental box that represent what we believe is possible for ourselves. Expanding this mental box and removing limiting beliefs that come with it is the first step or the key to achieving financial freedom. And we are often born into these self-limiting beliefs, boxes shaped by our family circumstances like financial struggles or lack of generational wealth. While we cannot control the box that we are born into, we have the power to change it as we grow and become aware of our potential. Recognizing this inherited mental limitation is the first step, and once we are aware, we can redefine what's possible for us and forge our own path going forward. Now, you can achieve financial freedom, but if you do not believe it's possible, you won't take the necessary actions to get there. There will always be this perpetual mental box that limits your potential, like always not enough money, always in debt, and so on. Now, if financial freedom, this concept is not inside your mental box, what I see from people is that you will not focus on learning or taking steps to achieve it. Do you see how it really works? You're not going to learn things or take actions if it does not exist within your box, right? Your financial situation, fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, reflects what you believe is possible for yourself. It could be a little bit triggering to say this, but it's also extremely liberating. Now, when it comes to pursuing financial freedom, people make common excuses like, oh, I don't have time, it's too risky. Yeah, understood, why all these life circumstances like a demanding job or family responsibilities are real. The truth is that if you're not making time or taking action, then to put it simply, financial freedom isn't a priority for you anyway. That is so much more empowering, right? If you were to say that rather than viewing yourself as a victim where you want something but because of circumstances beyond your control you can't. So until that day when you want financial freedom badly enough, all excuses will drop away. You're going to rise above all circumstances because financial freedom now becomes the top priority. But until then, we just have to be honest with ourselves that we are always in charge. We can decide on our choices in life, but not the outcomes that come together with those choices, of course. Financial freedom means different things to different people. But I will tell you that a universal definition using this crossover point concept at which passive income from your investment covers most, if not all, of your living expenses. Now, some people have to have like 3,000 a month lifestyle that makes them happy. For others, it could be 10,000 a month or even 50,000 a month of luxury lifestyle. Now, to get to this point, because you must be savvy, about investing money and to turn that into passive income stream. Also, earning enough money in the first place to have money to even invest, right, in the first place. Now, even if you earn, know how to invest, if you were to spend that all, then you're not going to have anything left to invest. Not to forget spending money in a way that feels good to you, not being too stingy with yourself, but also in a way that does not deplete everything that you have. So when people get stuck, right, we have to identify whether it's an earning problem, whether it's a saving problem, whether it's an investing problem, a spending problem, or a combination of two or more problems. The truth is, financial freedom is a balance between a journey and a destination. You need to make sure that you feel good and you are happy during that journey. To achieve that, some things in life do require spending some money. The thing is, I do not believe in 100% frugality. An unhappy journey will never produce a happy ending. All those years that you spend miserable because you cut out everything and you save 90% of your income, you deprive yourself of all these creature comforts, you are not going to get all that time back. So I think we need to foster a really good relationship, healthy relationship with spending money now, no matter how much money you have right now. Instead of complaining about how expensive house prices are, how groceries prices are inflated, why not choose the feeling of gratitude and value? These are not like the expenses that you can avoid anyway, like paying taxes and all that. Why not choose to feel good about it? Why not choose to think, I'm so thankful that I have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful that I am able to afford the food that is not only delicious but nourishes me. I'm so grateful for this exchange of value. After all, if you cannot change it, then might as well get on board with it. If you really want that $9 or 10 ringgit coffee latte, like a Zeus coffee or anything, just enjoy it with no guilt. If you really want that, just go and get it. I encourage you to really feel that equal and fair exchange of value every time when you spend money, even on your path or your journey to financial freedom, because that feels so much better than viewing it as, oh, this money is leaving me, the money is going down the drain or whatnot. So just look at my client's testimonial who engaged me for consultation to really see what I mean, right? Pay me a fee, I deliver consultation, and they get value out of it. If this resonated with you, if it's something that I say that trigger you, I would love to know what you think in the comments.